record button on it. And sorry, we ran a little bit behind with a level 10 call. So just bear with me a second.
All right, I used to think you were cool.
Let's see. Now I gotta hit stream and continue.
It's being streamed, huh?
All right, we are about to go live. And we'll just let that spin up. All right, guys. So the purpose of this call is for really anything related to troubleshooting or support in the high-level ecospheres. That includes everything from like Facebook to the AI agents. So feel free to ask any questions you have, and you can do so by unmuting yourself and raising your hand. So just hit that little hand raised icon and I will give you a shout. So who has any specific questions to start off with? Again, it can be anything from troubleshooting to general Q&A. I am happy to help. All right.
Well, I was going to say, I was on your earlier call with GoHighLevel, and we were talking about the delay in the voice AI when it answers. And one thing I was curious is that, little message that says, hey, the call is going to be recorded. Could we potentially tweak that to say, hey, the call is going to be potentially recorded and you might have a slight delay while we pick up or something like that? Is that able to happen? As just kind of a heads up or a warning to the caller?
Not from my experience at the moment, but let's try it. Nothing hurts like testing. So let me go ahead and pull up my demo account for you. And we were just testing this AI, so that's perfect for being able to take a see if it works. Let me share my screen really quick. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to phone numbers. And I've got that 216 number in here. That is the default number. So I'm going to edit that configuration. And let's put in a whisper message. All right, let's try that. And I'm going to call that number. So that is a 216 ending in 4492.
This call may be recorded for quality purposes. Please wait a few seconds and someone will be with you shortly. Hey, you have reached Mario's Towing Company. Do you need a tow for your vehicle?
So the answer to your question is yes. That did work. It made it a little bit shorter, and I was able to have the call recording basically say, hey, someone will be with you shortly. And then the voice AI picked up about 3 seconds later.
Nice. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, so that does help a little bit. That's really good to know. One of the things I also noticed is this takes precedence over voicemail. So essentially, if you do have a forwarding number, the voice AI will pick up after that call is declined or not picked up. So that was a pretty cool discovery. Welcome to Sherry, who just joined us. So what I was telling everyone is the purpose of this call is really just to troubleshoot any issues you may have in high level. So if that's building advanced workflows, customizing your AIs, pretty much anything, feel free to raise your hand and just ask a question. And I will take a look here at Facebook and see if we have anyone who is asking questions on Facebook. So let's take a look at that. Nothing come in yet. All right, guys. So Sherry, do you have any questions?
Yeah. I've got things kind of built out, ready to launch. I was gonna try and make myself get it out by the end of the day or tomorrow. But I'm trying to, I think I asked you in the other meeting kind of how to structure. I'm new. I only have like 1 or 2 clients. So I'm trying to figure out how to structure a basic, I have a voice AI, I have Facebook ad and Instagram ad, and then I'm gonna start doing ads, like paid ads, when I launch this. I'm just trying to figure out how to make sure that I cover my onboarding costs as well as set myself up that I can get a client, and what are the minimum things that I need to turn on, or because we talked a little bit about that. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the bare minimum to kind of get them in that first month, and what do I need to do? Because I have the AI set up, it's working well, I'm trained it the whole bit, but I just want to make sure the little details of connecting and what my price structure would be, kind of because I'm at the 297 idea with my first 2 clients. But with learning, obviously I'm spending other money. So I want to make sure that I don't price myself out of them trying it, but I don't want to do a $5,000 board and all that kind of stuff, because then, that's just too much to get them to bite. But what do you suggest, and what are some of the basic things we need? Email, SMS, a workflow, maybe not even a calendar, but maybe a calendar. I know, yeah, kind of maybe walk me through that if you don't mind.
Sure. So I always focus on conversations, contacts, and opportunities. And those are really the three things that you need to, whenever you're signing up new clients, those are really the three things you want to focus on. And the reason I say conversations, contacts, and opportunities, even doing them in a manual fashion, is usually more than someone was doing already. I can't tell you the last time I walked into a business that wasn't like super well established and asked them, how do you keep track of your leads? And they didn't tell me a piece of paper. Like it's amazing, right? How low hanging fruit something like this is. And what you're doing is you're packaging the AI agents as opportunities for lead collection, replacing things like a traditional contact form or a traditional website chat bot, things like that, right? So I've demoed the AI agent for everyone from boat companies to HVAC companies to, like, we did one earlier for like tow trucks and a towing company. And that was actually a real request that I got. And you're muted. You're muted, Sherry.
Sorry. Sorry, I was saying that worked out really well. That was cool how you could put the location of where they were. And I was just thinking of that even from like landscapers to be able to be like, where's the location, to, I don't want to run all over the place. I want to know where they want and what time they want to meet.
Exactly. And what you need to do, I think the biggest value for you is going to be, again, that low-hanging fruit of just lead capture.
Okay.
Right. So with that, you don't need to do some exorbitant onboarding fee, because those people are, all they're going to expect is that a call comes in or an SMS comes in and it collects the general information about that person and then does something afterwards.
Yeah.
So that would be what I'd recommend, is something as simple as like create an opportunity in like a 4-stage pipeline that is new lead, contacted, interested, not interested, right? So very, very simple.
Contacted, interested, and not interested. Okay, cool. And then workflow, basically just label, opportunity, email, maybe a notification just to the person of, you got a lead, this is the name, email, phone number. I was even thinking of like for people that don't want to get into the software, is just I noticed the other day I found that it has a Google, it'll dump it into a Google sheet.
Yep.
And then, or even just dumping it into SMS, and then they go from there. it'd be nice to go into a calendar. That wouldn't be that much harder, but I want to try and keep them out of the software as much as possible. So it's really easy, simple for them.
Yeah,
What do
so the easiest way to do that is going to be to text message them the lead,
Okay.
because that's usually the best way to get a business owner to like take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Is just from them seeing that lead come across in their SMS. That's what I found is the
Yeah.
most powerful piece. I don't
Yeah.
even bother sending emails with lead information anymore. I just stick to SMS.
Just keep it there. Okay. So to do the SMS, we'd have to get them still A2P verified. So would I need a domain and a website or something to get that A2P verified?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd want to get them set up and A2P verified. The other alternative is you could just have them download the Lead Connector app, and then
Okay.
you could send an internal notification via the Lead Connector app, but that's going to be a little bit less sticky. And as we know,
Yeah.
those notifications aren't usually as reliable.
Yeah.
Now,
Which
something
is
you
good.
can do as an admin to bypass the A2P verification
Uh-huh.
is you can have your account be A2P verified.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can
Yeah.
use the copy contact function
Okay.
and send them a notification that is like every contact that comes in, you have a custom field that is their business owner's contact information, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
automatically populates that. And then when it transfers over to your sub account, you send a notification to that custom field that was assigned for that contact. Does that make sense? Kind of
I
in a roundabout way.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just trying to put it together in my mind where that would go. Because it would be in my sub account that I'm A2P verified, right?
Correct. And you'd have a custom field in your sub account that says like business owner cell phone number.
Yeah.
And then whenever it gets created in that sub account, that
Uh-huh.
workflow would fire it into your account, tag it with a specific thing, send an
Mhm.
internal notification to the custom field that's associated with that contact.
Okay. I think I understand. I'm just trying to figure out. So what if I couldn't do multiple with those, correct?
You would no, you would only be able to do that one
Yeah.
notification per like
Per number.
contact that came in.
The other thing I heard somebody somewhere along the line is you could still use, if you didn't want to get them A2P verified, is you could just use email. And it could go
That's another
straight to
option
their
too.
email and
Yep.
not even do the SMS, but they just have to look at their email.
Correct.
But you could fire it up pretty quick, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Those are basically my understanding. So thanks. Oh, and then price wise, what do you think? Like if I'm offering a 297, do I do 297 and Voice AI free for the month? And then next month, tell them it's whatever I'm going to mark it up from 97.
Yep. That's a totally reasonable way to do it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. And answer Gene your question. Yes, that's around doing the ATP verification for new sub accounts, because one of the challenges that everyone is facing is that it's always speed to lead, right? And if it's taking sometimes up to 2 weeks to get A2P approvals, even though generally it's faster, there are a couple workarounds that you can use to make that a little bit more efficient. So next up is Philip.
Along that line, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I've been getting the last two people I had on board in A2P, they did 800 numbers and it came back in like 2 days.
Yep,
Is that
that's another
common?
option as well.
So just go 800 numbers. Can you do that with LLCs also, or just with sole proprietors?
You can do 800 numbers. It's harder with a sole proprietor, but you can do
They were both sole proprietors. Both of those numbers were sole
Yeah.
proprietors, and it was in 2 days.
Yeah, the only disadvantage is it costs a little bit more.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Yep. Nope. Next up is Philip.
Awesome. What's up, Coach? Thanks for
What's up, buddy?
you pop up at a perfect time because I was just like, I gotta talk to Mario. So I have a two niches. First niche is BJJ school. I have leads for a few gyms. One of the things that they would love to automate is when the kids get promoted, the parents get notified and all that stuff. And I was trying to build it, but then I run into a problem. What if one parent have multiple kids? How do we keep track of that in GoHighLevel?
Ooh, I'm glad you asked. You can do that using one of two ways. You can do that using opportunities where the kid is the opportunity, or you can do that using custom objects inside of HighLevel. And they just released inside of the HighLevel beta app the ability to do custom objects in workflows. And that should be out shortly. Once that's released, that's going to enable you to do that in a much more efficient manner, because you would create like you would either create the parent or the child as the object, and then the contact would be the opposing object. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. So the kid is under 18 years old. I think it'll probably make the most sense to have the kid be the contact and then the parents be the object, which the link to the email. Because for the parents, we just need like the name, phone number. It's kind of like linking people to companies, right? But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same principle.
okay. But the workflow, you say it's not released yet. So even if I build it now, the automation won't work yet until that's released. Is that right?
Correct. It's not going to work for another like week or so, because I believe that they haven't released it yet. Let me check in my beta stuff. And let me check in objects, and call this children, or call this parents.
Ryan say he think it was released over this weekend. Do you know if there's any snapshot that I can just purchase? I mean, I can probably sit there and build it, but I'd rather just, pay it if it's already built. You know if HL Go Tools have something like that, or someone in the network?
Yeah, let me look and see what I can find for you. I'm just checking in my automations right now to see if that was released. I just added a custom object for myself. I know it's live in beta. Let me check in. It is not live in regular yet. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss it or type funny. I got opportunities, payments, appointments, marketing, affiliates, IVR, memberships, community certificates. Not yet. But let me look in my global view really quick. I'm just checking in labs to make sure I'm not missing it. Okay, so it is not out of beta.gohighlevel.com yet. But it should generally, once they release it in there, it usually comes out pretty quickly. So I would wait like a week, maybe. And it should be out and ready to rock.
Awesome. So cool. So the second question is nail salon. I have a friend of mine. He has a sizable clientele that own nail salon, and the biggest two problem is appointment calendaring, and the second one is to run promos and coupons and stuff. That's why I asked about the Boomerang Me as the white label. Is there any alternative to Boomerang Me? Because Boomerang Me doesn't have like unlimited white label. It seems like whenever I add an account, I still charge like $15 a month or something like that. If you know off the top of your head, great. If you don't, then I'll keep looking,
I don't. That would be a really good question for the community. And I'll ask if there is. I'm looking up to see if there's a white label version of something similar. Boomerang Me has always been kind of the best opportunity that I've found. But that would also be a really good suggestion for the high level features board, is if there are things that are missing in high level to be able to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, make sure and get those submitted and voted on, because that'll help high level prioritize it faster.
Okay, cool. Also, closebot versus not closebot, the SenseFlow versus the GoHighLevel voice AI. It seems like SenseFlow is like 1 or 2 steps ahead. Do you know if it's worth? Because I don't have SenseFlow right now, but I do
I
need multilingual support. What is your thought on that?
I know that High Level is releasing multilingual support coming soon. Um, right now, SenseFlow is going to be ahead of High Level from that standpoint. And if you need multilingual, that would be like one of the core reasons why SenseFlow would make more sense. But the high level bot for anyone who's not multilingual is like perfectly capable. I mean, it does really well, in my opinion.
Yeah,
It lacks that one multilingual feature that they're working on right now.
I see. But the way SenseFlow is, I think I pay like $750 or $1,000, and I get like unlimited one, right? We just pay for the API credit. Is that kind of like the pricing model, Mario?
I don't remember what they're honestly, I've never paid for an account. I have free accounts pretty much everywhere. Um uh SenseFlow
It's
pricing.
all right. I can look it up. I don't want to waste your time with that
No,
stuff.
no, no, you're totally
Yeah,
fine.
I can look it up myself.
Um yeah, I would start with the lower tier plan
Mhm.
before you get into and test it. Like start with the starter plan before you get into testing any of the higher tiers like the growth or agency plans, because
Mhm.
those are pretty steep price wise. But again, the advantage is that multilingual component that is not non-existent yet. And Keith does raise a really good point, is you could use the transcribe function and the translate function
Mhm.
to translate those notes from English into another language. But I think what you'd run into a challenge with is being able to take another language and transcribe it to English.
Mhm.
But we can always play around with that. I'm happy to test it because I have a lot of interest in like the Spanish speaking market, and there's very
Mhm.
limited support right now for like voice AI in the Spanish speaking segments as well. So why don't you and I and maybe Keith as well hop on a call and let's just plan to kind of troubleshoot that a little bit.
Okay, cool.
And I'll coordinate that over Facebook so we can just
Yeah.
all message it.
Can I ask one more question? If that's
Yeah,
okay.
please, by all
I hope
means.
that this help everybody too. So we're getting ready to grow and scale this thing once I built this, and I think we're making really good strides at it. My plan is to use that white label suite
Yeah.
to get the contact. But the thing is, do you have any recommendation for workflows or strategies to turn those like cold contact, email and phone number into appointments? Is there a strategy or tactics or
Oh
whatever?
man, there are tons of different ways. And one of the most, this is going to sound really crazy, but one of the most successful ways I found to take cold contacts and turn them into warm leads is pizzas. Um, the cost of like a $7 pizza from Domino's,
Uh-huh.
and you have to do it manually, but you send them a pizza with a customized note on it. Flowers work too. I mean, chocolates, anything that you can send someone that's a tangible object will get them to be a little bit more amenable to having a conversation. Um, I personally love the pizza method because what I do is I'll take like a list of chiropractors' offices, for example, and I will send their staff just a pizza for lunch that has my name and phone number on it that says call
Uh-huh.
me or something like that, or some sort of like way to engage with me. And then I use the conversational AI components after that.
Okay, hold on. Can you say that one more time? That was so much wisdom there. My monkey brain got caught in the way. Yeah.
No, you're fine. So
Yeah.
think about it this way, right? Like if I'm targeting like, nail salons or dentist's office or chiropractors, doctors, plumbers, everybody needs to eat, right?
Yeah.
So what you're sending them is a item with your contact information on it.
Yeah.
Saying just wanted to reach out. And you can put a custom note on the pizza, or on the box for the pizza, and they'll be like, where the heck did this come from? And then they'll read that it came from your website, or it came from your phone number, or it'll just say, text me, here's my phone number. But it's a really good icebreaker. And then you call them afterwards and be like, hey, I dropped you a pizza, thought you might be hungry, just wanted to see if you'd be willing to have a really quick chat.
Okay.
Because then they're going to remember who you are.
Okay. Cool.
I like the idea too, because I was thinking about using the prospecting tool and printing out their, their, whatever you call it, the prospecting tool, whatever the thing that print out. And that's kind of a cool idea, is to do a pizza with that, and then maybe have that in addition to, and then with your information on it, just say, hey, we'd love to give you some information for free, and if you'd like us to tell you what we've got. So I like that idea though, because it brings it more to attention, because the employees will probably eat it all, but
well, that's the idea, right?
Yeah,
because
right.
you want to get past that gatekeeper. You want to get buy-in from that opportunity. Insomnia cookies is another really good one. They also allow you to put a custom message on the box. They're a little bit sometimes a little bit more expensive, but everybody loves cookies. So you get some different options, kind of see what works in your area and in your market. Some people maybe aren't a fan of pizza. Maybe their job precludes them from having a traditional sit-down meal. So sending them something a little bit easier to accommodate eating, things like that. I try and stay away from things like alcohol or cigars or anything like that, because you never know, who may not drink, or, who may have an office policy or something like that. So just stick to kind of the easier stuff, and you really can't go wrong.
Yeah. Would that work for like the HVAC and electrician companies too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because you got to think their office staff is stuck in the office, right? So, and what you're trying to do is, because you're going to get that phone number, and chances are that phone number isn't going to be the number of the owner themselves. So you need to get past that gatekeeper, and the best way to get past the gatekeeper is to make friends with them.
Okay. That's legit. Cool. I guess a question for everybody else too. Talking about like the front desk staff, would they be intimidated by those voice AI secretary thing? It's like, oh man, this guy's gonna take my job kind of thing. Or they think about like, oh, this makes my job easier.
I think it makes their job easier is really the conversation that you want to get into, because they're not they did release thank you to Ryan for sending that. I did not realize that you actually had to select a totally different option. But there is now I'll get back to what I was saying in a second, but there is now an option inside of this create workflow, because I do have that parent-child custom object. There is now a parents-based workflow where I can do parent created, parent changed, and then I can update associated records. What I don't see is the ability to do, if I create a workflow, let's hit start from scratch, there's not going to be any triggers associated with it. Let's look at actions though. Yeah, so there's no way to interact with the object directly from here. So there are ways around it, using remove and add to workflow, and also using webhooks. There may be some kind of a little bit of manipulation that needs to be done to make that work the way that you want it to. But I'm happy to brainstorm that with you, because once we solve it once, you only have to do it like that many times. So super easy.
You know what? I guess I could just create like a custom field within the context. So kid would be like Jason Smith, and it'll be a custom field of like Daddy Smith, and put that in, and Daddy Smith's email. That would work too, right?
That's also another option. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, dude, let's go. Awesome. Thank
Hell
you,
yeah.
everybody. Thanks, Mario.
Absolutely, man.
Appreciate you.
All right. Well, feel free to stick around, brother. All right, who's got questions? Who's up next? So feel free to raise your hand and or unmute yourself. I'm happy to answer any questions. It looks like Star has a question.
Hi, Mario. Great to see you today. I have a follow-up question to last week.
Sure.
And if we don't have time, that's totally understandable. So what I wanted to do is, I know that right now they can't book a call on the calendar using the voice AI, but through a
Correct.
workflow using the conversation AI, they could. Is that something you could help me set up, or is that just going to take too long?
Yeah, no, by all means, go ahead and share your screen.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. All right.
Okay.
So what you would do is you want basically, let me make sure I understand the principle of this. You want the phone call to come in, and then you want a workflow to take over and book that appointment with them. Is that correct?
Correct. Exactly.
Okay. So in your voice AI, go ahead and open up that voice AI. And you'll see, if you go to agent goals and scroll down, you can trigger a workflow either when the call is completed or inside the call if they say they want to book, for example, right? So click on trigger workflow in the main one that you have selected previously.
Okay.
And so you would want to define a new workflow to trigger. And then you would want to have a workflow published. So just pick the $1 trial one for now. We're going to create one. And then you would, client asks to book a meeting. And I've just sent you a meeting booking link via SMS. And then go ahead and save this one.
Okay.
All right, now duplicate this tab in the top left. So just right click on the tab in the top left. At the very top. Just duplicate your Chrome tab.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Looking for something internally in the system.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, got it.
And then let's go to workflows and automations.
Okay.
And create a new workflow. Start from scratch. All right, and you can leave this trigger as blank. So you just name this workflow AI appointment booker or something like that. Perfect. And add an action. And then do appointment. And you should have appointment booking bot conversation AI beta.
Okay.
And you're going to pick your calendar. So at the very top, pick your calendar.
Oh, sorry. I'm going too fast. Okay.
Yep. And then let's just run this as is. So go ahead and save that action. You got to fill out a couple more fields. There you go. SMS. Yep. And then save action and go ahead and publish this workflow and save that. And then go back into the other tab and scroll down to the workflow goal. And then book discovery call and pick that workflow.
I think we called it AI.
Yeah, you may need to refresh your page.
Okay. So since that bot is in beta, it's already kind of able to, it's already prompted to book those calls, it looks like.
Correct. So next up, you're going to go to agent goals, Scroll back down to where it says workflows, pick that workflow. And it's that one right there. Okay, now hit save.
Okay.
And then in your prompt, you're going to scroll up to, actually, you're already on number 5. So go ahead and add a number 6 and ask the user if they would like to book an appointment. And if the answer is yes, then fire the workflow.
I don't need to say which workflow.
It should automatically know, which workflow, because you put that, it's technically in a sub prompt.
Okay.
And then what I want you to do is go ahead and or let me call that number really quick.
Thank you, Mario.
Yep, sure thing. And that's 7055. I've already got that in my recent call list.
I called you by accident on Monday.
How can I help you today?
Yeah, I'd like to know more about your services.
Sure thing. We offer coaching services for coaches, course creators, agencies, and local business owners to help grow their businesses and get more clients. Plus, we have an Alinone platform called She Has Clients that helps business owners generate leads and manage their entire operation. You can find more details at starcod.com/WWM. What's your budget like? Over or under $1,000?
It's going to be over $1,000.
Hold on one moment while I transfer you to Star. Great. I've got that noted.
Okay, so that one automatically did the transfer. Now let's try and trip it up by let's not give it a budget and then just ask it to book an appointment.
Okay.
Hey, you have reached Star Cod After Hours. How can I help you today?
I'd like to book an appointment.
I just sent you a meeting booking link via SMS. Great. I've got that scheduled for you. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No, that will be all.
Awesome. Thanks for reaching out. Have a fantastic day.
Okay, and then let me take a look at my SMSs.
I have a question. So when they book the appointment, does it automatically checks to see if you have any conflicts in the calendar?
That's correct.
Okay. So does it tell, so what if they ask for a specific time and date?
It'll provide them with options that are different from their time and date.
Do we have to put that in the prompt though, or does it automatically assumes that?
It's going to automatically assume that. If you want to go ahead and toggle back over to the other tab.
Okay.
And go to execution logs. Okay. So it is currently.
I hope I use the right calendar because I have 2 with similar names.
Click view details. Interesting. Because that just fired.
Did you get the text?
No, because it fired to you for some reason.
Oh.
Let me take over your screen really quick. Yes, Gene, this is recorded and I'm posting it on Facebook. So you should have access to that as well. Okay, let me take a look here.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Enrollment history. Why did it enroll you? And let's take a look at your contact. This may just be because of how many times. Yeah, it did enroll me. And it did just fire the appointment booking bot. So this is actually just the wrong contact information. So I'll fix this really quick.
Oh yeah, when we were testing last week.
Yeah. So that did fire the appointment booking bot. So we were able to successfully trigger that appointment booking bot post call.
Actually, I think I saw somewhere if they didn't collect the name, that it adds it to my name. Is that what happened here?
That is entirely possible. So what we'd want to do for that is we'd want to tweak your prompt a little bit to be more, so like we have read back spelling of name, got this, asks you what their budget is. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll up in this prompt a little bit. And I just want to take a look at what I had previously. So we're going to change this to 2, and we're going to say, ask the user the following questions in order. What is your name? And let's take a look at, remember, we got to save this before we take a look at anything else. So we've got full name and description of their issue. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop out this this free ebook. Or actually, we could leave the free ebook and we could say remove this one and do client has to book a meeting and their budget is over $1,000. We're going to save this. And what is a description of your issue? Would you like to book a call? And actually, I'm going to move this one up, down one. And do what is your budget over or under $1,000? And we'll make this one 3. And the numbers don't really matter as much. I'm very particular about my prompting.
Yes.
And what I would probably ultimately do is actually feed this into ChatGPT and have it optimize the prompt for you and just explain what you're trying to do.
Okay.
So we can delete this and save this.
So,
And
Mario and Star, what I do is I use Claude, and I upload the GoHighLevel's prompting 101 sheets in there, so Claude knows the template of how to prompt this well as a Claude project. And I just kind of dictate to Claude, like, this is what I want, write it for me, and it get it like 95% there most of the time.
Where's that one sheet you're referencing?
If you Google like prompting 101 GoHighLevel, it's gonna show up on the help page.
Thank you.
Yeah, because every large language model that's get fine-tuned, there's like a particular way that it should be prompted. So I just kind of go off that. But unless Mario knows like a better thing
no, that's
beyond
exactly
this,
what I do.
yeah. So I just copy and paste this into like a Word document and then use that Word document as the knowledge base for a Claude project. Yeah.
Yep, and you can use the same for GPT assistants and, you know, depending on what platform you prefer. I prefer OpenAI for writing prompts just because I'm most familiar with it, but I know Claude does really well with it as well. Okay, so let's go back in here And let's make sure we got all those changes saved. And let me give it a buzz.
Hey, you have reached Star Cod After Hours. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I'd like to book an appointment.
Sure thing. Could you please tell me your name?
Sure, my name is Mario.
Great, Mario. That's Mario, right? Could you also let me know if you're awesome. Now, is your budget over or under $1,000?
It's going to be over $1,000.
I just sent you a meeting booking link via SMS. Thanks, Mario. I've got you all set up for a discovery call. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Nope, that'll be all.
Okay, great. Now, remember, I do work with coaches, so if they wanted to pre-qualify them before letting them book, would that be through this chat or would it be through the conversational AI part?
It'd be through the conversational AI part in the workflow.
Okay.
And in the workflow, you have the ability to use other components as well. So you can do like the appointment booking bot. You can do conversation AI natively, and then route them to the appointment booking bot.
Okay, so then I would put questions in here for it to ask them, then send them to the bot.
That's correct.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Thanks, Mario.
Absolutely. Any other questions? Let's see. We got one from Trey. I have you set up for a discovery call when the call hasn't been booked. That's just prompting. That's really just changing the language in the micro prompts as well as the main prompt to be a little bit more direct that the appointment hasn't been booked. But a lot of that comes down to just general prompting and things like that. Conversation AI V2.
Yeah, I know how to build it, but I don't know how to deploy it. Like where do we plug it in to do something? You know.
So chances are the reason it's not working is because you don't have it turned on in V1 as well. So when you upgrade to V2, you still have to go back in and turn it on in V1. And then for some reason it will work in V2. It's really weird.
Huh. So make it be automatically respawn in V1 and then okay.
And it'll work in V2.
But then in V2 we have multiple bots that we could build. Then how does it know which one it's gonna deploy? You know?
Because that's a really good question. I will have to find out because I didn't think through that scenario when GoHighLevel was talking about kind of the patch fix of doing it in V1. So that's a really good question.
Okay.
I'll find out.
Awesome. Thanks, man. And then how do I get to select which phone number it's going to respond from? Because I have my main phone number for that sub account, but I might have other outbound text using another phone number as well. Because right now I have one for the voice AI. They call in at number, like the second number, but then it texts using the first number, you know.
Let me look really quick. I don't know if that's actually an option at the moment. It is not an option at the moment.
So just outbound text using the main default number only.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Cool.
All right. Who's next up with questions? We have about 5 minutes left. So anybody have any saved rounds or last questions? Going once. Going twice. All right. And sold to the highest bidder. I will give everyone 10 minutes back on their day. Thank you all for attending. Look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday for our town hall and GHL updates. We have a lot of stuff coming this week, so super exciting. And then Friday for our SaaS and business coaching. I look forward to seeing everybody. Thank you again for attending, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys. Bye-bye.